I want to recycle a lens from an old camera. But why use a recycled plastic lens when there are much newer and better lenses out there? Well, it's a way to add that amateur and vintage character to photos without filters. The lens is the filter. I'm not the first one going down this rabbit hole, but it looks like a fun project, so let's go. So this is the camera that volunteered as a donor. Let's take it apart and let's see. As you can see, I start off nice and calm, until I ran out of screws to remove, and my lack of patience kicked in. But that's fine, right? Wrong! Now I don't know the exact focal distance from the lens to the sensor. So I had to come up with this contraption to try to figure out where it focuses. Here's where the lens is held. On the back, I replicated any mount so it's compatible with my camera. And with this, I should have the freedom to move the lens. I had to cut it because, for some reason, when I tried to make this structure one line thick, the 3D printer did some really weird things. If anyone knows why, please let me know. In the end, I couldn't perfectly align the lens, so I decided to make the lens adjustable. That way I don't have to do like 100 prints just to get the focus right. So let me show you the design I settled on. I tried to keep the number of parts as low as possible. The mount piece, the lens housing, and a small part to hold the plastic lens in place with 2 M3 screws. The outer piece has this trumpet shape because I tried to keep the original angle of the camera lens, but with a smoother finish. I printed the prototype in white, and I'm sure it wasn't the best idea, but this is the PLA I already had in the 3D printer. As you can see in this comparison, a huge amount of light hits the sensor, so it's basically unusable. But you can just about tell that even with adjustable focus, it wasn't quite enough. So I printed this second version, this time in black, and it works better for sure. The images are sharper and they have that bloom and distortion you'd expect from a disposable camera. Now the problem is that mounting and unmounting it is tricky, because thanks to the thread I often end up with just part of the lens in my hand. To fix that, I need to increase the mount size. And I'm deciding between two designs. This first one has a smooth wall, and I think it will work, but honestly, it looks a bit ugly. And then there's this one, which I like better aesthetically, but I'm not sure if it will be easy to grip. By the way, if you want to test whether a part of your design works, don't print the entire thing, just enough to test the fit. It's way more efficient and easier to iterate. I'm going to print the one I like best, and if it works, I won't need to print more versions. So here's the final design. And here's a comparison of the photos taken with each lens version, and also the lens I've been using for this video. In the end, I think this lens is good enough, but to be fully happy with it, I'd like to avoid using screws to hold the lens and make different mounts for other cameras so other people can use it too. And if I felt like taking the project further, maybe I could tweak the internal geometry a bit to hopefully let more light hit the sensor, because with this type of lens it's very limited. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so I really appreciate it if you let a comment with any feedback on the project or the video. But now it's time to go. Bye!